Yellow. Hell yeah. Kimimaro Hiruzen stand, $5 off the bat. Thank you, GOAT. Couldn't even get a word in otherwise. I got blitzed. My perception can't handle it. So I know it's going to be a good stream. I've got some stuff planned for you guys this time. Let's go ahead and add you, GOAT. I'll put you next to the Gohan tribute here. Thank you. What's up, Owen? What's up, Banzu? What's up, Sunday Page? Channel member. What's up, my GOAT? Jin is here. Channel member. GOAT. GOAT status achieved. Kevin Aw Douse. What do you mean? I'm right here, bro. Bully Maguire solos all of fiction. I cannot agree more. I actually want to talk about that a little bit because what happened to your videos? All my videos are still here, dog. What do you mean? There's a little tab on my channel you can click that says videos. But I'll be on Twitter, right? And I'll be browsing, and there'll be some cool shit about Toby, right? People are like, oh, can't wait to see him and Hugh Jackman in Secret Wars. It's going to be sick. Or just anything. And then somebody in the comments, some Poindexter will go, well, I like Tom Holland instead. Like they just feel the need. Kevon. I will be. Don't worry. I just got paid for editing a video. It was a very big project. That's why I've been away for a while. But just got paid. So I'm gonna get back to it. But in the meantime, I'm gonna stream for you guys. I have some weakest to strongest videos planned, some ranking videos planned. Don't you worry. What's up, General Shepard? Hey, man. Sometimes I need it. Sometimes I wonder, like, is Crisis Comics still needed in this world? And do they deserve it? And when I get goats in my chat, I realize the answer is yes. You currently are watching the stream, so I already got you, dog. And I think visually the merit speaks for itself. Where else can you get entertainment like this? But yeah, videos are coming. It's kind of like you just have to get the ball rolling, you know. I need to clean out the cobwebs, you know. Divine has stolen from my channel, so I don't like Divine. I think Divine is a slime bag. Don't fuck with that. $1.99 from CJ, thank you. Put that on the screen. How far does Batman with prep get into DB? I mean, I think a lot of the contingencies for Wonder Woman would be applicable to a lot of Dragon Ball. There's the post-crisis contingency that I think a lot of people are familiar with, where he traps you kind of in like a hallucination reality. Um, a hallucination reality where you just fight your like greatest foes over and over. I think considering Batman has technology and drugs and etc. that can affect characters like Shazam or Swamp Thing. Even Wonder Woman herself, like her mind hacks resistance should be way higher than a Dragon Ball character's. So I think if you trapped Goku in an illusory world, right, where he's fighting just like Black Frieza, and then Beerus shows up and says some shit and is like, "Oh, Goku, you're strong enough now. Let's fight." I think that would be a pretty sound win con for Batman. As far as the others, it's like, you know, the Hellbat's pretty strong for just trading blows. Phantom Zone Projector as well. I'm not sure how many characters would escape from the Phantom Zone. Like, you'd have to argue they could like scream a portal through or something, but the Phantom Zone's like outerversal. It's way beyond the like the time chamber, for instance. It's Crisis the Streamer. What's up, man? What's your thoughts on the rumors of Spider-Man 4? I mean, it definitely means we're gonna get Toby and Andrew soon. But I kind of am disappointed. I'd be down for just a street level Spider-Man story with Daredevil, Kingpin, like a Marvel Knights type story, just gritty. I'd be down for that. I think it's unfortunate. Because we knew that like Toby and Andrew were gonna come back anyway for Secret Wars, so it's kind of like, I think it's a bit superfluous if they do come back earlier than that, because Spider-Man 4, the same rumor is like, oh, it's gonna be sandwiched between Avengers movies, and the rumor as well is that every movie that comes out in that period will be set on Battle World. So like, Spider-Man will be swinging around on like Spider Island or something, you know, like it'll be like a weird multiverse like setting. So it's very strange. Batman's been a working class citizen before. In the New 52, after like Endgame, he lost his memories, and he still had his wealth, and he was just like working at like a foundation, like he was literally wearing a blue collar, like repairing shit and like tending to the ground. So he's been useful in that capacity. What's up, Lando? Yeah, grounded Spider-Man. I feel like No Way Home how No Way Home left off gave everyone the connotation that things are going to go back to developing Tom since he's having to adjust to life, but it feels like we're ignoring that. Yeah. I mean, it's yet to be seen. I think Sony saw that No Way Home made a fuck ton of money. I don't think they can do the gimmick again of like, because who's left? Who wasn't? They're not going to bring back James Franco. They're not going to bring back Dane DeHaan Goblin. They're not going to bring back Topher Grace Venom. There's no villains from the other Spider-Man series that they could incorporate to get hype. And I really just, there's no way they bring back Goblin and Ock again. Like that's done. I think Toby and Andrew, it's hard to say. It's just because I think Sony they know that Tom Holland Spider-Man versus Tom Hardy Venom is a $1 billion idea. That's a $1 billion movie. Yeah, I was kind of gonna get to that, Ruben. I just think they're not gonna like. What do they have? We're not gonna see Morbius again, bro. They would have so much egg on their face. They still have egg on their face from that shit. Madam Web as well. We're not gonna see them. So the only like, it's just Venom and Craven is. It's yet to be seen if Craven is gonna be good or not. I think we all know what to anticipate though. So I don't know what they could honestly incorporate in a multiverse setting to get people hype. I have no idea. Should bring in the Raimi EU characters from the games. I'd be hyped if they're like PS2 models as well, like like some Spider-Verse, the difference in animation. But I don't think or know if the directors would roll with that. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing is the Sony has fumbled the Spider-Verse. Like, was it Lord and Miller? They fumbled them because they wanted to do Spider-Man Noir on Amazon. They wanted to do like a Silk show on Amazon. And Sony would not allot them the budget they were looking for. And so it seems like this third Spider-Verse movie will be the last one outright. And I think I think on the one hand, that's great because just do the story, right? Just do a trilogy. Just do a movie trilogy. We don't need a bunch of spinoffs. Just have it be what it is, right? Like the Raimi series is not legendary because there was a fuck ton of TV shows, and like I think the MCU and Star Wars has kind of shown that model just does not work. It doesn't. Shriek from Spider-Man 3 PS2. Yeah, agreed. And again, just put her model in the movie. Just rig it in the movie. But yeah, so I'm not sure if like, I mean, I don't know. If the spot like, yeah, do your thing and get out of the Dodge, yeah. I mean, if they manage to make a good trilogy, and get out of there and get away from Avi Arad, then that's, I mean, they'll have averted what happened to Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi made 2 movies, 2 amazing, legendary movies, and then Avi Arad got involved, and all Sam Raimi could make under those circumstances was a pretty good movie. So if the Spider-Verse guys finish their trilogy and the quality stays consistent, then But Avi Arad's also getting old. I feel like his game's just kind of slipping. His ability to fuck up movies. Do a video with key issues. I'm sure we will. He's working on a Black Myth Wukong Monkey King video, so you guys look forward to that. Yeah, El Muerto. Yeah. Yeah, that got canceled. So I think maybe Sony, I mean, they had a chance. It's like they had a chance with Lord and Miller because I think if you keep them, then you can make them do a live action 2099 movie. Just it's a different universe than the animated one, but still like you just tell a Miguel O'Hara story, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's weird that Avi Arad got the thanks and not Mark Webb or Sam Raimi. The fact that Mark Webb and Sam Raimi are not in the credits of No Way Home at all, but fucking Avi Arad is very strange. Obviously, he in some capacity that statement is true, but it's like, come on, man. He just as equally fucked up those movies. Another one done. Oh, $2 donos from, or no, yeah, CJ. Thank you for the 199 and thank you Pammy Gem for the $2. Let me put you both on screen. Where would you scale Hellbat and Final Batsuit? Hellbat is unfortunately not that impressive because its best feat is contending with New 52 Darkside, and New 52 Darkside is considerably nerfed compared to his other iterations. But the Final Batsuit would solo a lot of Dragon Ball. I mean, if like, because the Final Batsuit, first off, it's made of like nth metal, but not just nth metal. It's made of nth metal from the 6th dimension, which is a whole dimensional tier above the 5th dimension, which the 5th dimension is just imagination. So it's not even like an actual like 5th dimension. Like it's way more impressive than if it's just a 5th spatial dimension. And so the so it's made of that material. It also has means to alter the DNA of the Justice League, and was just fighting against like the entire main continuity league. So it could just alter Diana's DNA, it could just alter Barry Allen's DNA, and these are all like Uni Plus to multiversal tier heroes at their peaks. So I think for $2, I would say they solo a lot of Dragon Ball Super. And then Gore the God Butcher versus Beerus off the cuff. Off the cuff, I mean, I think the best you can give Beerus is like 4D. Some statements about the afterlife, and then Beerus is going to destroy it all. Like just the vibrations of him like holding back an infinitesimal amount of power was still going to wipe away the afterlife. So if you apply the like higher dimensional lore for the afterlife, or if you think that's the interpretation, if you want to assert that interpretation, then that's the best you could get. But you know, Thor was higher dimensional like probably decades ago. So I would say Gore. Thank you for the donos. Yeah, I mean, the Final Batsuit's only appeared once. He's only used it one time, so I don't even think he like has it technically somewhere else. I don't see the harm in that much power. Yeah. Alright, guys, it's time for a surprise guest appearance. You guys are not ready. You guys are just not ready. Let's bring him in. Yo, what's up, Tyler?
What's up, man?
Let me turn you up so the chat can hear you. Hello?
Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, chat? Can you hear this guy?
Let me see. I'm gonna join your stream too.
What's up, Tyler?
Do you have like a thumbnail you want me to post with it?
I just used that pic of Gohan.
Okay, bye.
Just use this. What do you think of the next Tom Holland movie being multiversal?
Wait, it's gonna be. What you mean?
So, the word on the street was like Feige.
I heard about Scorpion being there.
So the word on the street is that Feige wanted it to be grounded and like involve like Daredevil and Kingpin or whatever, and Sony just wanted more multiverse shenanigans like No Way Home.
Oh no.
And the word is Sony has won, and that it will be multiversal in some capacity.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What is that like? To what extent though? Like, is he gonna fight like past villains or something? Or, like...
I don't know. I was saying earlier, I'm like, you can't. There's no one else that they could bring from the past movies that anyone would give a fuck about.
We're gonna like Morbius or like Sony Craven.
Yeah, like I think out of the if he fights Venom, then that'll be a $1 billion movie, because Tom Hardy versus Tom Holland has been hyped up so much by fans. So I could see them doing that, and I don't know. Venom has been like I don't know. They've never been able to get Venom right. I think Spectacular Spider-Man's like the only time I think that an adaptation has actually gotten Venom really well. Obviously, like the '90s cartoon, but it's been a long time.
I do like Spider-Man 3's adaptation is good, but the thing is that he just doesn't have enough time for like to really be Venom. That's like a main problem with really all the villains, because like all of them in the third movie are very good in their own right, but
Yeah.
they just don't have enough time, and because of that, they all kind of like it kind of messes them up a lot, especially with Harry too.
Yeah, I think you easily could have.
World's loudest power scalar guitar.
You better keep up that reputation, man. That's what you're known as.
It's funny as hell. I'm honored. Or the God Butcher versus Beerus. Oh shit.
Yeah. Hopefully some more donuts come through, and we can address any. If you guys have any anime questions, me and Tyler can help answer those going forward.
Do you think Star Wars needs to go back on track? I haven't been really keeping up with recent Star Wars media. Honestly, like after Obi-Wan, I kind of like haven't really kept up with anything.
Star Wars has completely lost me, man.
Yeah, I've never seen any of the new projects.
I only saw the episodes of Ahsoka with Hayden Christensen, which is like one episode.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, you have to see that. And then yeah, I saw Obi-Wan, and that was disappointing. That was like pretty painfully disappointing. Yeah, like I saw the first episode of Acolyte, and it's just boring. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, maybe the verse is cooked. I was just talking earlier about like the model that Marvel and Star Wars have adopted and tried of just, let's just perpetually have content out, and let's use TV to like dump all this shit. And it's just not working. It just hasn't worked. It's too much for people.
It's unfortunate. I heard the Acolyte show got fucking canceled.
Yeah, it got canceled. It got canceled, and all of its merch was taken off the store. So like the Disney shop.
Jesus.
So if you go to their website, you can't actually buy, like, I don't know what they were selling, like t-shirts and shit, but you can't buy that. I didn't watch Andor. I just didn't. I hear it is really good, like it's like good political fiction or whatever, but I don't know. I I think Star Wars for me works best. Like people are like, "Oh, can we get away from the Skywalker saga?" Like people demand that, right? But then when you don't do that, when you do that, when you ignore the Skywalkers or try to skirt around them, you get the Acolyte and it's just boring. Like at least to me, I'm like I don't really want to watch a show
You're not
about.
interested.
Yeah, I'm not really interested. There are characters that like again, if they did like a Revan show or like an Old Republic show with like Darth Bane or something with characters that we know and care about, then that's one thing. But like, I just don't care if you make. I just don't have it in me, bruh. Like, especially when you're a fan of something for so long. Like I've been a fan of Star Wars since I was a little kid, and I feel like it's like there's Let me look up what it's called. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna try to see what this phenomenon is called. Let's see. Okay, the Dunbar effect. So there's 150 people maximum that a person can like remember their name and apply a face to it at max. Cognitive limit to the number of individuals with whom any one person can maintain stable relationships. That's how I feel about fiction. Like I think Star Wars is a good example about that, where like you caught me after like 2 decades of just being a super fan, and like I can't be bothered anymore with like these new characters. They just seem so boring and lame to me by comparison.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe yeah. I feel like just branching out with too much new stuff is kind of like also a problem that the MCU also kind of suffers from,
Yeah.
and that could be a similar road that Star Wars is kind of going down. Which I feel like I don't know. I feel like if I was doing Star Wars stuff, I would mainly try and like keep some of the old stuff as like much as possible, just because those stories are like still generational. Like even like the original trilogy and even the prequel stuff, like to this day, is still like, you know what I mean? It's always still like used and referred to as like, you know what I mean, in terms of storytelling, like very top tier pieces of media.
I just don't think they have it anymore. I don't know, because Obi-Wan was just a flop. Like they tried that. They tried doing what you described of like, all right, well, people.
I feel like it was really split. Like it's either like you really like that show or you really dislike that show. Like,
yeah.
Really
I'm somewhere in the middle.
I kind of liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of it.
Yeah, I just think like it's just ugly. Like the final battle is just pitch black and they're throwing rocks at each other, and like compare that to the fucking Mustafar duel.
Yeah.
You know, fucking nearly 30 years ago or whatever, and it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah, it's another thing too, because even like with like stuff with, like I think the Clone Wars benefits a lot because it makes like the prequel stuff a lot like it keeps a lot of it together. But those first 2 movies especially, like in terms of like the ideas of like the storytelling, it's very good, but it's just like terrible execution, bro. That's kind of a similar thing with Obi-Wan.
Yeah, strangely, like
with the final fight. I do, because it's weird too, because even the fight from, I think it was like episode 3, like when he was like getting dragged in the fire, that's probably like the best scene in the entire show.
Oh right, yeah, I agree. I was hyped for that.
I don't know why they didn't just do something similar with that. Like you could have had him, I guess, like it could have been kind of interesting with him like doing similar things to how his old self would have been, because it's the story's like Obi-Wan's supposed to be becoming that, and this is like his final fight with Vader before he like fully turns into that.
They should have said it in like the snow or ice or something, so it's just a complete 180 from Mustafar. Like have them fight on an ice planet, and so it's like visually flipped, you know, just something unique. Instead they're just on a fucking barren like DBZ wasteland in the middle of the night. Not as visually interesting as a lava planet with like fucking robots flying around on like anti-gravity platforms and shit. Like,
Yeah.
give me some flair. I think for what you can say about Last Jedi, it had that. Like the salt planet with like the red fucking dirt underneath was really cool. Like that's visually distinct. It's a shame there wasn't like an actual lightsaber battle there. You know, it was just fucking Kylo swinging at a ghost. But yeah, the Force Unleashed 2 TV spot, that's a great aesthetic. Like Vader in the snow and like the fucking snowflakes fall in his hand. He grips that shit and keeps walking. Like, yeah, that's peak. I love that shit. What do you think? There's been word about like for Dragon Ball. There's that debate of like there's like a power struggle without Toriyama. Are you hyped for Daima?
Not really, no. But I'm interested to see like what was the last project that Toriyama like he himself cooked up, you know?
Yeah.
Because regardless of how we feel about it, because like I think the main reason why people are like really pissed off is because it's no like Super 2 or whatever. There's no news of that, but we're getting like some bullshit of it's like after the Buu saga, Goku turns into a kid, like some like Son Goku and his friends return like as special. But I do think, you know, I don't know. I feel like it could just be fun. I hope it's fun. I hope it's interesting. If I don't know if this is canon. I don't know if it actually is or not. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if it actually fits in the timeline. I know it's like apparently it's just after the Buu saga.
Thank you, Tiger Claw, for becoming a channel member. Yeah, I think it will be just because it's Toriyama, and typically every like the anime and Toyotaro try to work around whatever he does. Like they incorporate all of his stuff. Like the manuscripts are the backbone for both the anime and manga. Toriyama's manuscripts. So I think it will be canon. It would be really weird if the last thing he did was just non-canon. That would be bizarre. But okay, so they said there will be new forms. I don't know if that's just a rumor, but they will be getting new transformations, which really shouldn't be that shocking to anybody because it's Dragon Ball. But if they make Super Saiyan 4 canon, if they make that be the shit where he's Kid Goku and he goes 4 and he's an adult, just the exact same fucking dynamic as GT, except it's like written by Toriyama and has like, because the animation so far looks fucking amazing. Like it looks like Dragon Ball Super Broly level of 2D animation. So if there's like Super Saiyan 4, a Super Saiyan 4-esque transformation in that show, I think it could be really, I think it would win a lot of people over. But the problem is definitely just a lack of marketing. We have no fucking clue what's going on. Especially like the layman, right? Like, I don't know. Anime still feels like in this weird place, where it's like clearly super popular, but it isn't advertised as such. Like Japan just doesn't give a fuck. Yo, $20 from Turner. Thank you, Goat. And just saying hello, Turner. Thank you. If you have a question, I will gladly answer that. Me and Tyler can answer any question posed by any human being on the earth. Of course. I'll put you by this smiling nice man. Okay.
Super anime, will it carry from where it originally left off in there, or will it be the new show based off the manga? I think it'll probably it'll carry where it last left off in the anime, because at this point it's pretty like before the Super, like when Super just ended, the manga and the anime, like a lot of people tried confusing it, and then we saw the manga like trying to take after the anime, but now there is a very clear distinction between the two.
Yeah.
So I think they'll go with the Moro arc. I really hope the next arc isn't just like the next time they do Super is just post manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people definitely consume the anime. The only reason people even consume the manga is because the anime is just not around.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I read not too long ago for the first time, because I still haven't read, like, I've read a few chapters of the Goku Black arc, the Universe 7 versus 6 like arc from the manga, and then but I recently sat down and read everything post the TOP from the Super manga, just because, like you said, it's like there's no anime and I want new Dragon Ball, so it's like that's what you got. And I liked what I read. There's definitely a few like head scratchers, but I think it just, you have to follow that pipeline of manga, and then they adapt the manga into an anime, and then it'll be interesting to see what Toei changes, or what they add, because, you know, GT was obviously wholesale just Toei cooking shit up, you know, for better or worse. And then the Z anime was obviously adapting the manga and then adding filler arcs and adding like weird, like, cut to PyCon during the Buu saga, like what happened, Kid Buu versus PyCon, like weird shit like that. But it's like, it'll be the first time in a long time, hopefully, that they do have a manga to adapt, and I think that just is the way to do it. I think it gets people excited to see, you know, what differences there will be, while also, like, people want to see Moro versus Goku, bro. People want to see him turn into a fucking Susanoo Goku, grappling with like Planet Moro, with like a soundtrack and crazy animation. People want to see that shit.
And you don't just have to adapt it like I feel like that's what kind of made the manga and the anime so interesting, that they had their own time, like they were their own time.
Yeah, I like that.
In the manga, Goku Black's Super Saiyan, like he had Super Saiyan 2, and Rose was the idea of what Super Saiyan Blue would be if Supreme Kai had it.
Yeah.
But in the anime, Rose is just his Super Saiyan. So it's clearly like they're just not, like, Super Saiyan Rage doesn't exist. There's no Spirit Bomb Trunks. Like, Vegeto's power is even different in the manga.
They have a whole new form. They have the perfected Super Saiyan Blue.
Super Saiyan Blue, exactly. Kaioken Blue does not exist.
That's so cringe, bro. They should have just, in the colored version, I don't know why they didn't just give him the red aura, because Krillin says, yo, it's like the Kaioken, so like...
It's not Blue Kaioken, but it's the same principle as Kaioken, like, bro.
Cringe. Like, Goku just found out how to do that with, like, God Ki, I guess? Like, he's, like, flaring up his body to, whatever, 10 times, 20 times. I don't know how the fuck that shit would work. Like,
I mean, even if they wanted to give him Blue Kaioken, it could have led to perfected Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah.
It could have been a similar idea to how Super Saiyan was approached, and how Goku and, like, the filler had, like, Super Kaioken.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, it's not as efficient with Super Saiyan 2, since it's only a temporary boost. You could have just had that be with perfected Blue.
And it's weird too, because I feel like Blue Evolution for Vegeta is essentially just mastered Blue for the anime.
Yeah. And even then, it doesn't really feel earned at all, because we see in the anime, like, Blue just, like, you could make a case for this being a good case, but I feel like it's kind of inconsistent.
Yeah.
Where it was like the blue aura, like, kind of like you see with the animation, like, it really doesn't leak as much, and then to a point where they don't really, like, they don't lose stamina in Blue. It's kind of like their new Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
But I kind of prefer how it is in the manga, where it's kind of earned. But Blue Evolution also exists in the manga.
Yeah, I think people don't, like, everyone was on, like, Gohan Beast's fucking case, right, for being an asshole, but I don't think people acknowledge how lame Blue Evolution is, because
the idea, honestly, for both forms are very similar. Like, they are probably it's the same thing.
Like, yeah, like, Blue Evolution...
It's the result of them raging and wanting to protect someone.
Yeah, it's like I think it's equally bad, but I think Blue Evolution is worse simply because its stocks are way down because Ultra Ego is just better, and also like when they adapt the anime, when the anime, if it eventually adapts the manga, which I think everybody kind of just assumes would be the case, he'll have evolution as his main form for like maybe an arc. Like that'll be Vegeta's full power for like a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And then Ultra Ego is just way better and more apt for the character, and like, you know, it's definitely not as good as Ultra Instinct as far as being earned or like.
Even then, like all of Vegeta's forms are just bad. Like I'm like Ultra Ego is like I like the idea of it, but he just like, oh, I get stronger like the more damage I take, and then I take too much. I can't take too much damage. Like, bro,
its utility is well because that power set is not like how else could it work, right? Like it's a dumb utility. Like, oh, I get stronger the more I get damage. It's like, okay, well, how does he lose? And it's just like an anti-Raza, or even like was it Bergamo is like the main wolf guy who's like, the more energy I get, the bigger I get, but if I get too much, yeah. It's the same shit. Like we've seen it before. Like that fucking guy in the Buu saga, right? Like that Goku goes Super Saiyan 2 to fucking blow up. Like we've seen this principle before in Dragon Ball. And so it's really kind of weird. But I like where Super's gone with everyone having a form that's unique to them and ties into their character. Like I think Ultra Instinct is really cool. I like the idea of Ego at least being a form that extends from Vegeta's Pride. And then Gohan Beast, I like the idea of it being a form that is an evolution of like Gohan's his unique trait of a Saiyan hybrid where he gets that rage boost that, you know, isn't like other Saiyans. And then also, like you said, like from protecting somebody, which has kind of always been his thing, right? Like Goku obviously cares about people, but his power comes from just a desire to get stronger, just a single-minded obsession with that. Whereas Gohan is like, you know, since Android 16, he gets his most power from wanting to protect and defend people. And then Vegeta wants to fucking protect his honor. So I like all that.
There's Tiger Claw said, what do y'all think is the most overrated and overhyped transformation?
I've been defending Super Saiyan 3 a lot. I like Super Saiyan 3, but as far as overhyped,
I think, listen, man, I think Super Saiyan 2 excluding Gohan is like,
yeah.
I don't like that.
It does suck. It sucks.
Yeah, I don't like how they just all get the form.
Yeah, I mean, because that could have been Gohan Beast before Gohan Beast, right? Like Super Saiyan 2 is Gohan's thing, and then, you know, maybe they could have taken notes from Toei and Goku used fucking Kaioken with Super Saiyan. Like, maybe that's what Toriyama could have done to make it unique. And then like Majin Vegeta is like kind of its own form, right? Like it gives him a power boost, but he's still technically in Super Saiyan 1. Yeah. But yeah, Super Saiyan 2 Goku is useless. Like that form, as Goku uses it, and like nothing. It did nothing. Yeah, just stalemates Vegeta, waste fucking time.
I like Super Saiyan 3, but I will say its contribution to the story is very not good.
I think it's my favorite thing about Super Saiyan 3 is something like I realized recently, where it's a power that Goku only could have achieved if he sacrificed his life in the Cell Saga, because obviously he just trained to get to this power level that he could then, you know, break the Super Saiyan like barrier. And then thematically his sacrifice is rewarded by this level of power that he can only get by being dead, you know, by having an immortal body. I think that's a very cool like narrative, like I guess backdrop, I guess, to the form. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't beat Fat Buu with it, even though he could have, which is annoying and cringe and frustrating. Even if like I get the point, right? Like I like successor narratives. I feel like that one's a little bit clumsy in the Buu saga. And then Yeah, I mean it. He fights Kid Buu. It would have been cooler if it was Super Saiyan 3 that threw the Spirit Bomb instead of Goku being a Super Saiyan 1. I guess maybe Toriyama chose that form because it's like the most emblematic of the series at that point. But if Super Saiyan 3 Goku threw the Spirit Bomb that killed Kid Buu, I feel like its stocks would be higher in retrospect. See, I like all the forms though. I don't like dislike any of them. So to say what's overrated is like, I don't know. Because a lot of it's either you love them or hate them. So I feel like a lot of them like have equal parts.
I don't dislike it, really. I don't really dislike any of the forms.
Yeah, because I mean, Blue is probably.
I like Blue. I think Blue is well, at least in the manga, I think it's decently written.
I like Blue, especially when you combine the anime and manga, because it just is more like the versatility that both interpretations grant it. Where like one path, you can either master it and hold all your ki in and, you know, get stronger through that, or you can stack Kaioken with it, but it's more volatile. I like that it has those two kind of branches of evolution, and then you literally have Blue evolution as well as, you know, whatever the hell Blue evolution in the manga is supposed to be that differentiates itself from perfected Blue. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it would be cool if they just say that's like grade 2 Super Saiyan with
that's
Blue.
What everybody was pretty much saying. They just said that was like Super Vegeta Blue.
Yeah, I think that would be cool because I always felt that those forms being unique to Vegeta and Trunks especially would be cool. Like, I think it'd be cooler if Ikari evoked grade 3 a little more. Obviously, it would just be fucking Broly at that point, but I think it is cool that that's like a unique thing for those two. That's like maybe a branch they follow, but obviously perfected Super Saiyan is just better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Super Saiyan God. I wish there was more of it. I think forms should have unique abilities. Like, I think the healing factor should have been focused on. I think maybe like if Yamoshi was like if you did some Yu-Gi-Oh shit where like Yamoshi is Goku's Atem when he's in the fucking form, like amping his combat skills or something, or like some shit like that, that'd be cool. Because for whatever reason, arbitrarily, God, when it used the ritual, did have like he could hear Yamoshi, and he had a healing factor, and they just drop it. I think that could be pretty sick. And then Blue just has the ability to use Kaioken because Blue is like closer to Super Saiyan 1, which has a calmer heart, and Blue is calmer than God. I think that it's the lamest forms are just power-ups. You know, that's why I think Blue evolution is pretty bad. It's just a power-up.
Listen, my personal opinion, I really don't like Beasts. I don't like the idea of it just kind of being just Super Saiyan 2 done over again.
Yeah, I get that. I like Beast because I think Gohan deserved it, but you could say the same for like a lot of characters that have been left behind. Like if Tien got a power up or something, I'd be like, that's cool, good for him, you know? Like I liked to see it. But yeah, Gohan, I feel like the manga probably could have done a better job of adding on to whatever was in the movie. Because the movie is obviously strapped for time, but you probably could have explored a little bit. Like, all we know, like, I think, what is it? Whis makes one statement in the, like, last chapter about it. Like, oh, it's Gohan's unique form. Like, just some generic shit like that. But yeah, we don't know. We don't know. I feel like you could have been like, oh, maybe, like, when Elder Kai unlocked his potential, that there was some like latent God key involved because it is like a Kai ritual. So it's like a latent God key, and then Gohan's rage that he hasn't tapped into since like the Cell games, right? Because he didn't get enraged as ultimate. It was like the ultimate form was kind of skirting around his need to get angry. It was like, okay, now you have all your latent potential and you don't have to freak out because that's not like in your character anymore. But I feel like if they were like, okay, latent God key from the ritual mixed with your like hybrid rage. I feel like, I don't know, would you think that would be a sufficient explanation?
Yeah, I mean, at least like it would kind of be cool to call back to the Kai ritual, because even the ultimate form, I do like ultimate,
Yeah.
but even that still kind of feels lackluster. And then there is also that scene in the Buu saga that a lot of people like to point out when the movie was coming out. When the movie came out, the anime scene when he was powering up and you see like the purple lightning. So like a lot of people were like, "Oh, that could be like a
Fuck no.
little like, I guess like I guess like pre-game for Beast."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I think having that and having it be like, oh yeah, Gohan with obviously with when he specifically undergoes like rage and stuff like that, and makes something like, it's a lot different than because we see Vegeta and Goku like even in the same arc where Gohan gets Super Saiyan 2, like we've seen Vegeta like get rage boost, or even Trunks like trying to get rage boost, but Gohan specifically, it was always unique to him.
Yeah.
But for it to all just like be jot up to Whis saying like, oh yeah, this is his unique form, like
let me see what does he even say? Dragon Ball Super is. Let me see what the actual like. What's the closest to an actual explanation?
There's like someone's
$5. We're gonna be wanking Nightwing to Hyperversal. I mean, when he got the Great Darkness and like nullified it, I'm pretty sure Superman says you're the only person that could have done that. So Superman would not be able to resist that fucking like cosmic darkness, trying to corrupt them. So there you go. Easy dub. Batman also says Nightwing is one of the best. Him and Red Hood are the best fighters on Earth, and Wonder Woman is a fighter on Earth. So what are you gonna do?
Let TN be on some Dr. Fate, Doctor Strange type beat. Let him be a magic user.
I don't know what the fuck they TN, because I read for the first time, because I've never seen original Dragon Ball. I'm one of those just disgusting freaks that's like, I started with Z and I never knew what the fuck happened in original Dragon Ball. So recently I just read the manga. And TN's really cool, but they kind of drop him like by Piccolo Jr. Everyone's like, nah, we can't do shit. Like Piccolo Jr.'s like, even when he's weakened after fighting Goku, he like, fucking waves his arms and cuts like a key wave across the concrete or whatever. And they're just bitched down. Like they just don't do anything. But yeah, I don't know. Tien's just one of those characters that they just have they have no desire to do anything with him. They have no idea what they could possibly do with him. Like what the fuck could you do with Tien at this point? Bro, I wanted to reread the Buu saga as well, so I'm reading that. And they're like, when everyone's signing up for the tournament, they talk about Tien, and Krillin's like, yeah, Tien's not coming. He says he doesn't want to see us. And it's like Goku's one day back on Earth, and Tien's like, nah. So like, I don't know what the fuck his problem is, but him and Shiatsu are just in the mountains, fucking shouting at waterfalls or something.
Hey, Todd. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, I'm looking for this.
I like Chiaotzu is more magic type compared to Tien. Yeah, he's the one who has psychic powers.
Yeah, so Beer says, is Goku's son in Super Saiyan form? Whis says, no, not quite, nor is that a divine technique. I would call it a singular talent all his own. So that's all we got. That's it. That's it, bruh. That's it. I feel like if you said, like, yeah, it was a divine technique that unlocked his potential. Maybe there's some god key. If fucking Kid Buu, right, has a little god key in him from at some point being connected to the fat Kaioshin, then you can give Ultimate Gohan some of that shit too, right? Like, It's chill. But yeah, I also think one of the problems with Beast is that Gohan is like not training before he unlocks it. Like, it's implied he's done a little training and then he's been practicing like the special beam cannon, so he's not completely slacked off. But I think the start of like where we find Gohan at the start of Superhero, it probably should have been closer to where he was in the manga, or like by the end of the TOP, where he's still like dedicated. It's lame that he kind of slacked off between then, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I just hope they don't. I just hope they don't bitch him later. They just can't. They can't. We can't go back again, bro. We can't. There's no way.
Literally, bro.
There's no way. Will we
It's
ever
just
get?
weird. I just really dislike Gohan. Kind of like, why does he slack? I don't know why he gets that much weaker too. Because like apparently he can't even sense like Pan has like better like ki awareness than him.
Yeah.
Like, bro, come on, man.
That's very strange. Very strange.
But he's still like strong, weirdly strong. Cause I think it's just because of the rage boost, I guess.
Yeah. Yep. The community cannot handle another fumble. It's just weird too, because I feel like the outrage at Beast, it was really weird for me to see, because it just made me realize, I think I've said this on streams before, but it made me realize that there are people who don't know like what it was like to watch Gohan in the Cell Saga. Like, they don't get it. Like, they think of Gohan and they think of Revival of F. And so they're like, why the fuck is this jobber like fighting MUI Goku? Like, what's going on? Like, they don't understand, and it outrages them. And I think it's such a fumble, man. Revival of F is fucking awful, bro. It's like one of the worst Dragon Ball things to ever come out.
I think it is the worst Dragon Ball arc.
It's really fucking bad. It's like so little redeeming qualities. Yeah, it's not good. The movie's not good. The arc's not good. It's just not good. It's just not good. It's like, all right, we want to bring back, like, part of them understood the assignment. They're like, all right, let's bring back some of the side characters that we've forgotten. You know, that like didn't do shit in the Buu Saga, didn't do shit in GT. But they're like, okay, we're gonna give Krillin a buff and say it's just because he's seen good people fight. Now he's that strong. It's like, what? Okay. And then what Piccolo, didn't Piccolo get shit on by like the Ginyu guy, or like the new?
Yeah, and he died. He's the only person who died in that. It worse than Garlic Jr.
Right.
Yes, it is worse than the Garlic Jr. arc.
Yeah, Piccolo fucking like died in that arc, and then they're like, all right, what can we give Gohan? He'll barely be able to turn like SSJ2 and get completely.
No, SSJ1.
Oh my god, he goes SSJ1 and then gets shit on by like base form Frieza. Like, this is not what we want. Like, don't even have them involved if you're just gonna do that to him.
And Krillin, like, bro, there's like a whole episode dedicated to Krillin like having PTSD. And like he's like scared of like Frieza soldiers with a power level of 2000. He's like, oh wait, I'm strong. Yeah, and like no shit, you are.
Yeah.
Like what? Like by the Android Saga, all of them cliff Frieza. Like, what do you mean that you like what?
Tiger Claw brings up an interesting point. He says, I don't think it's more so Gohan far above Goku or Vegeta that's the problem. It's more so, can he keep that position, not slack off to where Bro can even go Super Saiyan? Well, so I think it's interesting when you look at it holistically, because Goku also has that same problem in the anime, right? Like, and in the manga, where it's like peacetime and he's chilling and he gets scratched by a fucking bullet. And then you also just have him like keeping his guard down and shit. That's kind of been like continually his problem, and he needs MUI to like address that. Like, he's had that problem his whole fighting career and into Super. And I would probably say that only has been amended in the manga when he starts using like the UI technique in his other forms. It's like, okay, now he's finally addressed that character flaw or whatever, that flaw in his technique that Whis pointed out. But for Goku, it's the same thing. Like, the Saiyans need constant upkeep, or else they kind of will all become bitches. Like, if Goku slacked off, I mean, he did. He was getting hurt by bullets from like random robbers and shit. And in the manga, he's on guard when it happens. So it's not like a Gohan exclusive thing. So it's just weird to me that that's like so focused on. I really think it really is revival of F, because in the manga, Gohan is like chatty as fuck, like in the TOP. Like Kale is just running through people. Everybody's fucking terrified of Kale. Then she fuses into Kefla, and then Gohan fucking stalemates her, like arguably in base form. And then in the anime, I think he's cool. I think the anime episodes of Gohan and the TOP are some of the best ones.
Yeah, I think it's actually, those are some of the better episodes of the TOP.
Yeah, like him and Piccolo, him being like, "I'll knock you out of the fucking ring myself, Frieza, if you fuck up." Like him fighting Dispo.
Him versus Alibu. Him sacrificing himself.
Yep. Like I think the TOP does good shit for Gohan, and then the training and like even the episode, him being like a rival to Goku Blue, like right prior to the TOP.
Yeah.
And then Vegeta is like, yeah, all the Saiyans have gotten stronger like over the course of the TOP. Like all that shit is good. All that shit is good for Gohan stocks. It just
don't like. I really don't like it in the manga though, just because outside of like a few like, you know what I mean, like a few like lines of Gohan saying that he's raised on Earth or whatever, or he's an Earthling.
Yeah.
And like him just like we don't see him in the manga at all, besides like a 0.5 chapter post Goku Black saying he's training in the gravity chamber.
Yep.
And then he just pulls up and he's like, "Oh, hey Vegeta." Like, I don't like that at all. But him in the Moro arc is so very cool.
Yeah, the pacing in the manga can be worse at a lot of times compared to the anime. That's why I think like the Granola and Moro arc is more of like, I think those stand out because there's something to compare it to. It just kind of is what it is, and so like the moments, they just are on their own merit. So like you say, like Gohan in that arc doing what I think a lot of people have proposed, which is, okay, like when he's the front line on Earth and Goku Vegeta can tend to shit in outer space, right? And it's like cutting between those two. I think that is cool. I think Gohan is pretty cool in that arc. They just shouldn't have had him slack off after that. It just doesn't really make sense. Like where we find Gohan at the start of Superhero is weird. Especially the Pan shit is like, damn, we're supposed to believe he like really fucking fell off, like he just has not been in the gym at all. Canon Cooler, I think Cooler would be neat to see adapted. It's just weird at this point because Frieza's been around for decades and has never mentioned a sibling, and like Cooler was never gotten involved in anything.
Yeah,
like he'd be a totally different character. I think honestly, Frost just should have been Cooler. Like, just have Frost be Canon Cooler, because Kale is just Canon Broly, right?
I do like the idea, because we do see him like after the Universe 6 arc or whatever, like him like falling off and like being like, I guess like the criminal of Universe 6.
Yeah.
Like in the streets, like hiding and shit.
Yeah.
I do kind of like him, like I guess like being humbled down.
Yeah. I think it could have been cool though to see them just do Canon Cooler. He even could have gone into like, he could have gone into the fifth form during the TOP, like been like, oh, I got a glimpse of you doing your golden form. Like this is what I got instead. I think that could have been cool.
That would be cool.
Doesn't the gravity chamber suck? Yeah, I don't know why Gohan just didn't go into the hyperbolic. Yeah, I don't know why. Why would he bother with gravity? Like, what's he got that shit cranked to by now? Like, 500,000 times Earth's gravity? Like, what is a valid means in that shit? Like, at this point. DBS Hero was Piccolo's solo movie. It was very Piccolo focused. It was originally supposed to just be a Piccolo movie.
I'm very happy to see that.
Yeah, Piccolo. Piccolo Orange is also. It's weird that you can just wish for that kind of shit, right? Like, it's weird that you can wish to have your potential unlocked. I feel like people should do that more often. Like every year, just wish for their potential to be unlocked or whatever.
I don't know why he didn't do that against
Yeah, yeah. Kami didn't have the idea either. Like after they fused, he's like, "Why don't you just wish to be stronger?" He doesn't age slow like Goku does. Didn't Goku stand in a literal black hole? I don't think gravity chambers are doing anything anymore, lol. Yep, I mean.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
No problem. Yeah, Gohan just should have gone into the time chamber with like Goten and Trunks. And then like spar with like fucking Super Saiyan 3 like teen Gotenks. I feel like that could have been cool. I will be excited once we see that. Once we see like fucking Dragon Ball Heroes like Super Saiyan 3 adult Gotenks or whatever. That'll be sick. Then we're getting into like fucking Absalon territory. Like where it's like Gohan and Gotenks, like adult Gotenks. Adult Gotenks is such a like fanon concept. Like it only exists in Heroes and like fan fiction. So seeing that be like actually canon, like successful Gotenks, will be very that'll be a sign of times to come. What's up, Dead Kev? Happy you're here. This has only been one single beat this whole time. I tried putting on some Dragon Ball Lo-Fi, and it's just the same track over and over and over for an hour. That's not what I want. Let's see, what about this one?
I am back.
What's up, man? Yeah, I was saying it would be cool if instead of the fucking gravity chamber or whatever he was doing, if he was just like in the hyperbolic time chamber with Goten and Trunks, and Gohan's like sparring Super Saiyan 3 like teen Gotenks. And that's how they buff themselves up. And I was just saying it'll be really weird. Like adult Gotenks only exist in like fucking Heroes and weird like fanon, so it's gonna be really crazy if they ever actually pull off the fusion dance and we get that shit.
I wish we got way more like action with them, especially because I do like them in the superhero manga. I don't know if have you read up to that? Have you read all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like them like kind of comboing Cellmax and stuff like that. But it's kind of like too little too late for me. Because we spent the entire series and then just doing nothing. Like we have like the copy of Vegeta arc. It's like the one thing they do.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate arc to be involved in.
That might unironically be the worst Dragon Ball arc.
I mean, it's just, I feel I'm less offended by filler than like whatever the fuck Revival of F was supposed to be. Like that's supposed to be like main story shit, but the copy Vegeta arc is clearly just some Toei bullshit. It's like that fucking like Gohan kissing that one girl and then the like Bugman, like whatever the fuck they had going on in
Jesus Christ.
Super. Like whatever the hell that was supposed to be. Like I don't.
A lot of people hate Garlic Jr., but
yeah.
Listen, super filler is terrible. It might be worse than Naruto filler.
Super filler is pretty bottom of the fucking barrel. It is pretty fucking terrible. Yeah, I feel like Super Saiyan 3, that could just be Gotenks' form, right? Like, I feel like it would be cool if everything was represented. Like Broly is still, he'll just have like Mastered Super Saiyan. That'll still be his thing. We'll still get that like form in the series. You know, whatever. It's got a fucking tint of green, but it's essentially just Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And then we can have Super Saiyan 3 with Super Saiyan 3 represented by Gotenks. And then you have Beast, MUI, Ultra Ego.
It would have been cool to see them in TOP. Because I know the fusion dance is only 30 minutes and TOP is 45. But they could have probably just taken the Potara earrings, if anything.
Oh wow, Potara Gotenks, whatever the fuck that would be
Yeah,
called. Let me see.
Trunten, whatever they call him.
Trunten.
Or some, yeah.
They probably have a fucking fusion somewhere.
I think that would be
Trunten.
kind of like they like okay, Goten and Trunks like even off rip of the Buu saga, like they are like scaling to Super Saiyan Gohan unironically. So
Yeah.
say like they were like maybe like Trunks after because we see Trunks motivating future Trunks or whatever in the Goku Black arc. You
Yep.
could just say like after that Trunks and Goten decided to lock in because okay, not only if you saw your future self be in this type of timeline, but you also hear like your dad killed you, like you know what I mean? Like, would you not like want to at
Oh
least like
right,
kind
yeah.
of lock in because we do know Goku Black did kill Goten, so it would have been kind of cool. Like, let's say Goku actually told them, or like
Yeah.
Goten and Trunks overheard this, and then dude, just make him stronger than Tien and Roshi.
Yeah,
All right.
that would be really cool if the future timeline motivated like Trunks and
Yeah.
Goten, because Goten would be like, damn, like Trunks in that world had to grow up without like me, like I'm his best friend, and like he was without me for all that time, and this other time, like I need to be stronger so I can stick around and support my best friend, and then Trunks is like, damn, like there's a very high chance I might end up like it technically happened already, where
Yeah.
I'll have to be the only person holding it down. Um, yeah, I think that would be cool. Um, isn't Super Saiyan 3 already mastered? No. Bizarrely not. It's still like a fucked up form.
Yeah. No one's ever mastered it.
Yeah. Super
Like
Saiyan 2 is probably mastered.
If Gotenks could use his transformations without ruining the fusion time, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like they're so cuz I don't know, I don't know if you've seen Multiverse, but like the early chapters like we see like Goten and Trunks like they can like run into each other and fuse.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I haven't read that shit in a very long time.
Yeah, me neither. But
Yeah.
I remember that.
I think because the perfected blue concept in the manga, I don't see why you couldn't apply that to other forms. So maybe like Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks holds his key in, and he's able to keep the fusion time longer if he does that.
Yeah.
But it's like a literal strain on his body or something. Like there's always a cause and effect or whatever, or like equal and opposite reaction with good Dragon Ball forms.
Yeah.
Multiverse, yeah, I'd forgotten about that shit. But yeah, I think it would be neat to get Gotenks in the cut again.
Yeah. I mean, they literally built up the whole future generation thing in the Buu saga, all for it to like go nowhere really.
Oh, I was gonna say you were talking about like Cell Game Gohan, but like, or like Super Saiyan Gohan, but they were in the cut against fucking Cell Juniors, bro, who were like just fucking vibing for like a decade or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, in the manga, yeah, put them in instead of Tien and Roshan. Well, not just put Tien and Krillin in the manga because Tien and Krillin in the manga are terrible.
Yeah. Like
I at least like Krillin in the anime.
yeah, they were fighting fucking. Those Cell Juniors had to be stronger than the ones in the fucking Cell games, bro. Like
Those are the ones that 17 like apparently trained with.
right. So they should be strong as fuck.
For sure.
And that's not even counting Gotenks, like, or Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. It's crazy. I feel like those two have like a good, like fusion. People aren't really frustrated whenever fusions are just strong as fuck. Like Goku with Blue Kaioken was getting his ass beat by Zamasu or whatever, like breaking his fucking arms fighting him. And then Blue Vegeta shows up and everyone's like, yeah, kick his ass. So I feel like Gotenks can always just be relevant, kind of. Like,
yeah, I feel like fusion's a very good way to just make up for weaker characters. I mean, Kefla is like a very prime example of that. Like, she
yeah.
went from like Goku like teaching them to like them forcing Goku to awaken Ultra Instinct a second time.
Maybe that's how you get Yamcha and Tien to be relevant again, bro. They just gotta keep fusing.
Tiancha, make it canon, bro.
Bring him
please.
out, bro. Budokai 2, bro. Tiencha.
Oh my god.
People would be hyped.
The Tri-Fang beam, bro.
Yeah, bro. You do not want to get hit by that shit.
Oh my god.
Avoid that at all cost. Also, like, Kaioken, you should just give it to someone else at this point. Like,
Yeah, dude, I was what's it called? I was like rewatching some of the Android Saga, and like it really did hit me. Like they really trained on King Kai, and King Kai did not want to teach them Kaioken at all, bro.
yeah, I don't know. Then he must have just been like, well, fucking Goku didn't use this shit right. Like, he used Kaioken times 4, the bastard. So I'm not gonna teach you fucking morons how to use it either. You just end up killing yourselves.
But like for someone like Piccolo, because apparently Piccolo was like very powerful at that point in the story.
Yeah.
So for him to not learn it, or like even Yamcha and Tien, because the Earthlings, like they were kind of consistently portrayed to always like catch up to Goku in their own unique ways. Like they would get more out of the training that he did, and they would do it in a much faster time. Like Kami's training, like they not only completed Kami's training, they were doing like way harder training, like against the Saiyans specifically.
Yeah.
And they got like a like they all surpassed Raditz by that point.
What's up, Gabe? Yeah, bro. If like Orange Piccolo was fighting like Black Frieza or whatever and like getting shit on, and then he went like Giant and Kaioken, people would lose their fucking minds, bro. Like, that shit would be crazy. Because Piccolo, like, I don't know. I've always felt Kaioken with Piccolo is just a no-brainer because you could just heal from like the damage, right? Like,
yeah,
whatever, however it fucks him up, he can just heal from it and still be in there.
He honestly doesn't even need to like fuse with Nail at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
Honestly, he probably just like runs the gauntlet, because if he fuses with Kami, then like he kills androids. He could probably just 3v1 the androids and win.
Oh yeah, at that point.
Yeah.
And like the Namek Saga or whatever, yeah. Yeah, it's really dumb. Like, why don't they all know the instant transmission in Kaioken? I feel like that's been, people have been talking about that shit forever, but it is true. It's like, what the hell? What if Broly went Great Ape? I feel like Ikari was that, but I think it's sad they'll drop that as well. Like, cause that's a cool form, like Great Ape in base, and it looks kind of like Super Saiyan 4, like especially when Broly's using it.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're ever gonna see that shit again.
Never. It's unfortunate, cause he would just master Super Saiyan now.
Yeah, there's no point to go Ikari. There's no point. It's like a
stack it, bro.
10 times boost, yeah. 10 times.
Like, golden Great Ape, pretty much.
Oh fuck yeah, bro! Like, all the GT forms are just cool. They were just cooking. Whatever random character designer that wasn't like Toriyama or anyone else. There's like one, the guy who made Super Saiyan 4. That's like his claim to fame. And that's all he needed to do. He cooked. But yeah, Ikari. I feel like Ikari could be Broly's thing. Like, that could have been his form, but you have to just give him green Super Saiyan because he's fucking Broly. Like, there's no way around it. But yeah, I think that would be clever to have his own thing. Why doesn't every base human Avenger have an Iron Man suit? It's a good point. Just why is Widow running around in like spandex, you know? It is a good question. Iron Man's got a fuck ton of suits.
She needs to lock in, bro.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Has there been news of any other MCU movies?
I mean, obviously, there's like the Doctor Doom shit
Oh, yeah.
is the big thing. Um, that's kind of taken the world by storm. I just don't. Me and Garrick on a stream like ranted about it. It just seems like they're out of ideas. This is their Hail Mary. Just bring one of the most famous fucking actors on the planet who made the MCU popular and bring him back in a fucking weird role. Like, it's not appropriate for RDJ, but he's a good actor, so I'm sure he'll be like good at it. It's just not
good. Yeah, it's not what people want.
Yeah, it's just not a good thing. They should have just done Avengers versus Dark Avengers. I think maybe the Thunderbolts are just gonna be the Dark Avengers of this universe.
I'm not very excited for that.
Yeah. There's a lot that's kind of just mid on the way. I mean, about fucking the next Spider-Man, I was saying, like, okay, I was prepared to see Tobey again in Secret Wars. Like, that's obvious. There's just no way around it. Do you feel like if Tobey is in the next Spider-Man movie again, do you think, like, that's going to take away from it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't like if their whole thing now is just cameos, and that's how we know we're kind of cooked. Like, there's no real direction because any direction they had, the main villain got arrested. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like they just.
And even then, I feel like the I don't know. A lot of people were liking the Kane stuff. I did not find it really interesting at all because the movie that it took place in was horrible. Like, Ant-Man 3 is like garbage.
I think that's really why they didn't recast. I don't buy that. Like, they could have fucking recast it, no problem. I think the reason why they didn't do that is because it just sucked. They're like, all right, it sucked. We fumbled, and it's controversial. If it was like maybe just. If it was just controversy, they would just recast and get like. They'd recast, and then that actor, they'd have to have him donate like $1 million to fucking charity or something to counter the controversy. You know, that the old Kang actor performed. So that's the only way. Sony will always have Spider-Man until the end of time. I see this every time there's like Sony does some shit. Like Kleeble just commented, Disney can't do that. They can't take it away. There's no fucking way. There's no way. It will never happen. Sony will always have the film rights to Spider-Man for the rest of fucking time. It's never fucking happening. This is the reality of the situation, and people need to fucking accept it. They bought that shit for like how much? It's a ridiculously low amount of money. How much money did Sony buy Spider-Man for? $7 million. So Sony spent $7 million in 1999. And if we look at the Spider-Man movies, total gross. Okay. So up until Far From Home, so this is just counting the Far From Home movies, I think, or maybe not. I think this might be all of it. Either way, 10 billion at the global box office. Yeah, this accounts for No Way Home as well. So, yeah, so $10 billion. So they spent $7 million, and they have since made $10 billion. That's probably also not accounting for Across or Into the Spider-Verse. Why can't Disney buy Sony, though? Disney can't buy Sony because Sony is a Japanese company. And Japanese companies are not, they're not for sale in America. You can't buy international companies. It's not possible. It's not like, I think it's like whatever, the stocks or something, like the Sony, there's Sony of America, but they're just a subsidiary of Sony of Japan, Sony proper. So Disney can never buy Sony. It's not possible. They don't trade like stocks. Like Japanese companies don't trade stocks in America. Some shit like that. Okay? I'm not a fucking business major. But it's not possible. I can tell you that much. They can't do it. And they're never going to give it up. They have no benefit from giving it up. They get nothing. Even if Disney was like because here's the thing, right? If Disney was like, all right, well, we'll pay you $10 billion. First of all, they would never do that. They would never do that because their deal is beneficiary enough to them that it's not even worth Disney to them to buy it. They're like, we're not going to spend billions of dollars when like they still get the merchandise profits, right? And I'm pretty sure they do get a cut of the movie's earnings. I think that it's just a percentage, and Disney has majority, or Sony has majority percentage because they own the film rights. They own it. Yeah, I'm Crisis the stockbroker now. So no, there's not a reality where Sony gives it up. Disney would be like, all right, $10 billion and we'll own it. Like if they made that offer, it's not beneficiary to Sony because they're like, well, in 10 years, like we'll have already made that money and we won't have to fucking sell anything to you. It's like so little gain. The long-term gain from owning fucking Spider-Man movie rights in perpetuity is far more than any single payment that Disney would ever be willing to give to Sony to acquire it back forever. So no. Disney can't. Also, at this point, Disney owns Fox. Like, they can't buy Sony. It would definitely be a monopoly, even if it was possible for an American company to buy a Japanese company. So there would definitely, it would be illegal at this point. Maybe if Disney hadn't bought Fox and they're like, all right, like again, and it's not possible because it's a Japanese company. An American company cannot buy a Japanese company. Especially like a multimedia mogul. Disney also like doesn't want Sony. Like Sony movies is just one division of the company. Sony makes video games. Sony makes like audio systems. Like Sony makes phones. They make a bunch of bullshit that Disney does not want to buy. They just want Spider-Man. But yeah. Also, I don't think Disney needs Spider-Man anyways. Like, it would be cool for Spider-Man to be in the Marvel Universe, but they'll be fine with just making constant Avengers movies. I mean, because that's the thing, too, is, like, they have Spider-Man, technically. They just don't. And they just don't have to buy him. Like, they don't have to shell out $1 billion. Or whatever, like $10 billion. Like, they can put Spider-Man in whatever the fuck they want, I think. Like, they just have to keep renewing the deal.
That's really their golden ticket, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that pretty much gets anybody into the theater.
Yeah, like, I know that in Deadpool and Wolverine, there's like that picture of like Peter and Tony that Tony looks at in Endgame, and he's like, all right, I guess I have to try time travel. Like, that photo is in Deadpool and Wolverine, but they're covering Peter Parker's face. And it's because like Marvel technically does have a limited amount of Spider-Man appearances that they can have in a non-Sony movie. So like they agree, they're like, okay, you can put Spider-Man in 5 of your movies, right? But we want ours, obviously. Like Sony owns, like they have, you know, majority stock or whatever in the Sony Spider-Man movies, like the fucking No Way Home trilogy or whatever. The Home trilogy. But
what
yeah.
do you think of that trilogy as a whole, bro?
There's a quote where like Feige was talking about Spider-Man comics. He was talking about like one writer who had written the storyline in which Aunt May finds Peter's tattered spider suit while Peter's like unconscious, and she's like, oh, holy shit, he's Spider-Man. And Feige's like, I guarantee that one day I will depict that moment on film. And the best we get is Aunt May going, "What the fuck?" and then it cuts out. Like
Yeah.
that's my opinion of the MCU Spider-Man trilogy in totality.
Yeah, it's not very. I feel like a lot of people take it a lot more serious and the idea of it, and like kind of run with that, but the
Mhm.
execution is just not really. It really is held back by the fact that it's an MCU movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's another thing where it's like it's not really good either way. Like the fact that Marvel has Spider-Man, it just they haven't cracked the idea of like what does it really afford the character for him to be in a connected universe? What does it really afford him? Um because when you read a comic like and fucking another Marvel character shows up in a Spider-Man story, what's like the hypest moment? Like when has that happened in the character's history that's been the most like exciting? Like cuz an Ultimate Spider-Man, the best use of it in my opinion, when you're like the bulk of that story, the Ultimate the 1610 is Spider-Man like leaves class cuz he hears Rhino is rampaging and he dips out. And by the time he gets there, Iron Man's already fucking patched it up and he's just like carrying Rhino away. And they don't interact, they don't say anything. But Peter's like, damn it, like, I'm not that fucking important. Like, I'm not, like, I skipped class for nothing type of shit.
Yeah.
To me, examples like that are when it's most gratifying that Spider Man's in a connected universe. But they're like, no, Iron Man is actually his dad. And so it's like, kiss my fucking dick, bro. Like, get that shit away from me. 100% on God. Like, they fumbled it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry they fumbled it.
I really don't like how Iron Man is kind of incorporated, especially for the first two movies, because bro, Far From Home is literally just what Homecoming fucking does, bro. Oh my god.
There's just no Spider-Man movie ever should have come out where like Iron Man is so thematically important. Like it doesn't make any fucking sense. I would accept it.
Poster,
why is he on the cover of the poster? Why is like Far From Home about Iron Man's legacy? Like I would accept it if it were Captain America, right? Because I think Captain America and Spider-Man have way more in common. And it's sad that they like never fucking interacted. Like they fight.
The one scene we get is a Civil War scene.
You get the one scene and then Captain America throwing Mjolnir in Endgame and saying Brooklyn. Like that's it. You know. Captain America and Spider-Man have way more in common. But honestly, I think it was Sony that was like, yo, have it be Iron Man. Because RDJ, Iron Man, is the most popular MCU character.
Yeah.
And there's an interview that anyone can go back and look at. And it's around the time of Homecoming. And, you know, there was attempts of like, okay, let's put Toby in the background of Incredible Hulk, right? In like 2008. Or let's put the Amazing Spider-Man Oscorp Tower in Avengers, in the skyline of the first Avengers movie. And every time Sony was either like, no, you can't do that, or it was like too late, or just some weird thing, right? I think where it finally clicked is you can look up this interview. It's Amy Pascal, who was like a producer or whatever on all the Sony Spider-Man movies. She is like, what Marvel have done is they have made each of their movies, each of their products feel like a chapter in a book, and you have to consume each one in order to get the full picture. And we would like to, you know, get in on that basically. And so like, if you look at their long-term plan as they've like executed it, they're like, okay, let's have Spider-Man be so ingrained in the MCU. He's Iron Man's fucking Robin. And everything, his whole universe revolves around Iron Man, and every fucking threat he faces is Iron Man villain, blah, blah, blah. There's no way to deny it now. His wagon is hitched to the most popular Marvel character in the movies. Going forward, they're like, yup, they wanted to have that transition into their Marvel movies that they earn all the revenue from. They earn 100% of the revenue. So they're like, oh, if like we make Venom, now that Spider-Man is like associated with the MCU, it's associated with Iron Man, the most popular, coolest, biggest Marvel fucking character. Now, if we make Venom, people will associate the two together. So we can get like RDJ Avengers level profit, but with 100% of, you know, of the revenue going towards us, because they'll think it's all the same thing. The audience will think that Venom 2 is a integral chapter in the MCU saga. And that's why Venom is in No Way Home as well, because like technically they're right. Like technically, and it also speaks to how Marvel has diluted their own brand, because like, is Secret Invasion any more necessary? Does it have any more inherent merit to the Marvel saga than Morbius at this point? Morbius is in the Venom universe. Venom was in No Way Home. It's connected. Like,
Yeah.
and Secret Invasion is just as dog shit as Morbius. Like, so I don't know. You guys tell me, do you think fucking Sony's plan worked? Or is it really just Marvel's fucking, like, Marvel's kind of shitting the bed just as Sony is like, all right, it doesn't mean anything anymore for it to be a Marvel product. But, you know, maybe when they thought, like, all right, let's do this, let's connect to the MCU, like, maybe when they thought that, it was worth it. So I don't know. I don't fucking know. Are you excited for that Spider-Man show with, like, it kind of looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like what MCU Spider-Man should have been?
Not really, no.
You're not hyped for that?
No, I mean after knowing that it's not gonna be really like canon, like it's not really gonna be like based on what we saw, I don't really care for it. But I mean, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah, I think I just want to see, because it's like, we'll have Norman Osborn in the universe, we'll have Doc Ock in the universe, he'll fucking cross over with the Daredevil. Like, there's not going to be any Avengers bullshit really. Like, Doctor Strange is there, but it's not like, it's not, I don't think he's going to experience like Civil War. He's not going to get involved with that shit. I want to see that, because again, it kind of seems like, all right, this is what fucking MCU Spider-Man probably should have been from the jump. And I'm more interested in seeing that. Yeah, like Uncle Ben and shit. I don't know. I mean, have you seen Madam Web, Ty?
I have not.
Okay, we should watch that shit at some point. But so like, Uncle Ben's in that movie, and he is, yes. And Peter Parker's mom's in the movie, but his dad's not in the movie, and Aunt May's not in the movie. Aunt May is in the MCU. Uncle Ben's not in the MCU. He's not referenced. He's not shown. He's barely referenced. They never say his name. I think, and this has also been going around where like this got kind of like, I guess, confirmed or whatever, like leaked with some level of you know, authority or believability, is that if Sony uses a character, Marvel can't, basically. And I think it goes both ways. At least in like movie live action world, because I think that's why we haven't gotten Uncle Ben. It's because Sony's like, well, if we put him in Madam Web, people know who that character is, and then also we'll trick them into thinking that this is like Tom Holland's Uncle Ben that people have been clamoring for so desperately since Homecoming. So it's just a bunch of fuckery and like mind games, bro. Although, listen, dog, I know you're gonna be right next to me when fucking Venom 3 drops, bro. We're both gonna be in the fucking front row for that shit. We have to see it, bro. I do want to
see that shit, bro. It's not, dude. Listen, I personally enjoyed the Venom. I thought Venom 1 was kind of terrible, but I really did enjoy Venom 2, even though it's not a very good movie, but it's very fun.
Yeah, like I would sooner rewatch Venom fucking 2 than Far From Home. Like, I'm sorry, dog. Sure. Like 100%, 100 fucking %.
Give me 1 second.
All right.
Gotta fix my headset real quick.
Fix your shit, bro. Like, give me a break.
My God, bro.
Loudest power scaler rears his ugly head. Yeah, I mean the Spider-Man thing is fucked, but that's the reality. That's the world we live in, dog. Tom Holland's best performance as Spider-Man. Yeah, I think Civil War is peak MCU Spider-Man. It's only marred down by like retrospect because like whenever he says Mr. Stark in that movie, it just reminds you of like the rest of his narrative. Um, but yeah, that movie in and of itself is it's a good Spider-Man. It's a great movie too. I like Civil War a lot, and it's crazy that Spider-Man's in it. It's like so insane. Does Sony have control over the cartoons as well? Um, so Sony, as far as I understand it, their only claim is like live action Spider-Man movies. I think it's just Spider-Man on film and then animation or like TV over 40 minutes. They constitute that as like, I guess, closer to a film than like a TV show. So Sony has the rights to that as well. I think, or maybe it's the other way around. I think Sony, let me just look it up for you guys. I'm sorry. Sony Spider-Man rights. Details. Let me look at some kind of fucking... I'll just at least Wikipedia. I'm not gonna fucking read a Quora post to you guys. Licensing agreement with Marvel Studios.
I am back.
What's up, man? $2 when the next vid dropping. I appreciate the donation. Right now I'm editing audio for a video. It's pretty much, the audio is pretty much edited, and then I'm gonna get started on properly putting video to audio. So as to a specific date, I cannot tell you, although I will say I'm gonna try to get some Doctor Doom shit going for this Fortnite season. I'm gonna try to do a Doctor Doom video. Okay. Since Doom is the talk of the town, and I think in like a week he unlocks in Fortnite, and it's weird how much Fortnite like raised his stocks. Like Fortnite can kind of make or break a fucking character at this point. But
very funny. How it's the biggest game out now.
What'd you say?
It's very funny how it's still like one of the biggest games out right now.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think honestly, like, at all the Game Award shows, it probably should still win, like, best multiplayer game or whatever. Like, it just still sweeps, like, still so popular after all this time. And it better stay popular, because if it goes down after me fucking spending all my money on those skins, then I'm gonna take to the streets. Yeah, so, I mean, Disney is making the freshman year show, so that kind of gives you an idea of like Disney can make cartoons, like Spider-Man cartoons all around. There's also like the Disney Channel Spider-Man show that was going on for a minute. That kind of shows that like, yeah, they can pretty much do whatever they want in that sphere. I think live action shows like what they were going to do with Spider-Man Noir and Silk and all that shit, that's Sony. And then animated movies is Sony, like Spider-Verse. Live action movies are Sony, but it's in a joint production with Marvel Studios. So Marvel Studios produces the like No Way Home movies, but Sony like owns the rights, they license them, and they get the biggest cut of revenue, I'm pretty sure. Fortnite is fun, lol, though I prefer playing Zero Build. I only played Zero Build. Do you think James Gunn Superman makes or breaks the DCEU? Yes. I think if it comes out and is like dog shit, probably if it comes out and it's mid, it's gonna take a lot of the wind out of the sails of I can tell you for a fact my hopes and dreams. Because I want DC. I want DC on top, bruh. We need to get that shit. We need to get that shit on top. Marvel's had it too good for too long.
Isn't the Batman movie coming out this year?
No. Penguin is coming out this year though. The fucking TV show set in the Batman universe.
Hooray!
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I will be watching, but I could probably just take it or leave it. I don't need that in my life.
Is there a confirmed date for the second movie?
No. I think recently the guy said some shit about like, yeah, we took a break. God, I hope it ain't shit. Yeah, I agree. I would hate to have to sit through a shit movie.
I mean, the first movie was really good, so.
I think they're talking about Superman. Are you excited for James Gunn's Superman?
Yeah. I mean, James Gunn makes good movies.
Normal human response. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what else to really think behind it, because I'm not really a crazy Superman fan.
I think this could be your ticket then.
Yeah.
You could come out of this movie and be like, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I'm talking Superman, yeah. Why do you think fans love Spectacular Spider-Man? Listen, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I wish that show had a different art style. Like,
you don't like the art style?
I don't like the art style, bro. I don't like Kim Possible Spider-Man. Like, I think for me, it's unfortunate when like a show with really good writing and like voice acting, etc., just has an art style I cannot really get behind. I can't really get behind the like Ultimate Spider-Man is like dog shit writing. Like it's just the complete opposite of Spec Spidey, in my opinion. Because like I think it's got a cool art style. I like the anatomically correct. You know, like Young Justice as well is like a really good art style. That's like more. That's more what I look for with like superhero TV. But yeah, Spec Spidey is it's fucking Kim Possible shit. So, but I don't know. I mean, I think people like it because it's well written and it's like a very good modernization of some of the classic story arcs from the comics, like everything to do with like Harry Osborn's drug addiction and his descent into villainy, and Norman Osborn's hatred for Spider-Man and Peter Parker and the Venom saga and all that. It's just a good adaptation.
Yeah, and I feel like it's good for really like any of all ages to get into.
Mm-hmm.
That show primarily is for kids, but
Yeah,
even as it still stands out even as like an adult.
yeah. I'm pretty picky about aesthetics as well. Yeah, it's just like I don't know, bro. I think
the art style really bothers me that much.
I was gonna say like with the fucking Venom 2 or Far From Home or whatever, like with Far From Home, it's like I can only rewatch so many things, you know? Like what am I really gonna choose? Am I ever gonna choose to rewatch Far From Home like in my entire life? Probably not. And to me, that's the ultimate merit of if I think a movie's good or not. Like if someone asks you like, yo, why do you think this? Why do you feel this way about this piece of media? For me, I think it just comes down to, am I willing to rewatch it? Like, do I like rewatching it? Does it excite me to rewatch it? And for the bulk of the MCU, that's not the case. DGAF. and get it the fuck away from me, man. Point blank. I think we're to go on for a little bit more here. Once we hit the 2-hour mark, I'll let Tyler go about his day. So you guys be sure to get in your best questions from here on out, okay?
Yeah, man. RDJ is a bad choice for Doctor Doom. I just don't see any good coming out of it, but I don't want to just I'm for one to at least giving the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna dismiss it. Like we haven't even gotten anything from it. But like if I see like I Hate You 3000, I'm just gonna, I don't even know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, it's just bizarre. There's just no way to really do it right, kind of like what you're saying. At least totally right, because it's like, I don't want him to be an alternate version of Iron Man. But if he's not, then why the fuck did you cast RDJ unless it's just purely a stunt? Like, is that all you want us to believe? And they're going to be like, oh, well, we just wanted the best actor for the role. And it's like, are you trying to convince me RDJ is the best actor on the earth? Like, that's bullshit. You could have gotten.
Supposed to be like, this is the next like big. I think another thing too is like the MCU played their cards a little too early. Like I feel like with people like Ultron or like even Civil War, those are arcs in the those are huge arcs in the comics that probably shouldn't be taking place in one movie.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Got dismissed really early.
That's how I feel a lot too about like, they killed off Cap or whatever. We don't know if he's dead, but the problem I fear when it comes to doing the legacy characters of the Marvel Universe is, first of all, there's not even that many. And Marvel didn't really try to do the legacy angle until like 10 years ago with like All New, All Different. Like that, they did an imprint in the comics where it's like, all right, new Wolverine, new Cap, new Iron Man, like all, that's where Riri comes from. That's where like Sam Wilson Cap comes from, et cetera, and they just don't have the like 80 years of stories or whatever that their predecessors have. And so like, it's hard for me to buy, like you're saying, it's like, we've already adapted all these big stories. You can't do another, I guess they could do Civil War 2, but that's like one of the fucking worst event comics ever. So like, are we just going to have like Sam Wilson Cap fight a bunch of Steve Rogers villains forever? Or, for the next 10 years? Like, what's it going to be? See, I don't know. I just don't know. Kind of bizarre.
It's a tough situation, bro.
It's a tough tightrope to walk. I think they should just have Goku in that shit.
Yeah, I mean, bro, why not? Can we just get like a Fortnite movie? Like, hey, RDJ Doctor Doom. Is that how he's Doctor Doom?
That would be so cool, yeah. If it comes from Fortnite.
The Fortnite, bro.
If he like, they look through a portal and it's the Fortnite art style, and then he steps through and like gets like real.
Oh my God. Bro, that shit in Invincible.
Oh yeah.
He unironically hit him with a Fortnite sniper.
That shit is peak, bro. Hey, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that. Yeah, they should do a Fortnite movie. They should just have like Superman and Goku, like Deku, Naruto, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, like The Rock, Black Adam, and The Rock.
Cobra Kai's in Fortnite too.
Yep, Cobra Kai, Apollo, Creed. Yeah, just have them all fuck around.
That's actually disgusting, bro. I can't lie.
Fortnite it's awesome. You can play as all your favorite characters, but it is also stomach turning that they're like Adonis Creed, some version of him from the multiverse, got sucked into an island where he has to shoot Goku in the head to survive. Like, what the fuck is going on? All right, $2 Pemigem. How strong do you think Super Saiyan Grade 4 should be? Well, do you mean perfected Super Saiyan? Like, how strong? What do you mean by that question? Do you mean like, are you asking me how strong I think it is? Or are you asking me, like, should it? What?
If it's the strongest greatest Super Saiyan, do you prefer the idea of it being just base Super Saiyan but infinite stamina, or do you like how it's established?
I think it should be way more than a 50 times multiplier. Because like what? It's like normal Super Saiyan's 50, then grade. What is grade 2 on top of grade 1? It's like a 2 times, right?
What? Yeah, at least the 2 times.
And then isn't grade 3 implied to be 10 times in like El Manga Legendario? Yeah. So I think grade 4 should be greater than all of that. It should be a bigger multiplier than like all of those probably stacked, right? Like, you know, because Super Saiyan grade 3 is it's a mutation on top of Super Saiyan 1. Like you go Super Saiyan 1, and then a grade 3 is an evolution. So you already have the 50 times multiplier, and then you go grade 3, like obviously. So grade 4, the multiplier should be way higher than that, in my opinion.
It also kind of feels silly to think that, because if grade 4 was grade 1 but just infinite stamina, why is Goku with half his energy like making Vegeta and Trunks like into another day in the time chamber?
Yeah, I mean Goku just says he's like, I'm way stronger than you, like in grade 4. So I definitely think it's a way bigger multiplier. And as far as like another aspect of that question, I guess, like, how strong do I think it should be? Yeah, I don't know. I guess, fuck it. Just be like, it's like a fucking 50 times multiplier on top of 50 times. Like, it's like Super Saiyan 1 is 50 times, and then you have the grade 2 and 3 multipliers. And instead of those, it's just 50 on top of that. Why not? Who gives a shit? The multipliers are kind of like 50 is like the least arbitrary one because of Kaioken times whatever times 20. It's like, okay, it has to be above 20. So it doesn't fucking make any other sense. Like it has to be. But the rest of them, it's like does Super Saiyan 2 just being 2 Super Saiyans, like, does that really follow? Like, is that the vibe you get? Like, I don't really get that sense. I don't really get the sense that, like, or that, like, you know, fucking grade, or Super Saiyan 3. I don't really get it doesn't feel like it's only as little as 4 times. Yeah, it doesn't feel that way. It just doesn't. So you still don't get that vibe. So
like I don't think the gap between like Majin Vegeta, Fat Buu, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a 4. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't feel like a 4 times gap at all.
Cause like, okay, so the final explosion, that's like the strongest type of move you can do in Dragon Ball, where you just fucking kill yourself. Like that's way higher
all
than
your
like
just detonated.
Right. And like we know that like when you go like if Goku went Super Saiyan and then did a Kaioken, his power level would increase probably. I don't know. It's hard to say if it's like if you're Super Saiyan and you do Kamehameha, but you're not at full power, would your power level rise to a level beyond just your full power? Like you're not punching anything with it. You know what I mean? Like, because they established very early on in the Saiyan saga that like, yeah, your power level rises even when you're charging an attack. You're stronger. Yeah. So it's hard for me to believe that like Vegeta using the strongest fucking attack he can in Super Saiyan 2 plus the Majin amp is not him doing that final explosion is not greater than 4 times. It's hard for me to believe that. Like, it's hard for me to believe like, that a final...
3 Goku could survive that.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that a final explosion is weaker than Kaioken times 4 in terms of, like, a multiplier.
Yeah.
Like, seems a little silly to me. But, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah. But thank you for that last $2 dono. But I've been going for a couple of hours, so I am going to be ending the stream. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Pamajam. Thank you, Turner. Thank you, Kimaru, Heroes and Stan. Thank you, Doolally. And thank you, Tyler, for being on. And I will see you all next time. Bye bye.